What if one of the biggest stars in the world was secretly falling apart while millions believed he was living the perfect life? Behind the luxury brands, sold-out stadiums, and global fame, Kim Taehyung, better known as V from BTS, was quietly battling exhaustion, pressure, loneliness, and the darker side of the K-pop industry that fans rarely get to see. Stay with us until the end because in this video, we're uncovering the hidden struggles, emotional confessions, and untold moments that revealed a completely different side of the idol the world thought it knew. Over the years, V slowly began revealing pieces of what fame actually did to him. Not dramatically or not in some explosive interview, but quietly, almost like someone accidentally letting the truth slip out between smiles. During promotions for his solo album Layover, he admitted that 2018 was one of the hardest periods of his life. BTS were becoming the biggest group on earth at that time, yet he confessed he felt mentally exhausted, emotionally empty, and constantly stuck in comparison. Imagine standing at the absolute peak of success and still feeling like you are somehow behind everyone around you. Isn't that terrifying? The K-pop industry has always thrived on impossible standards. Idols are expected to sing flawlessly, dance perfectly, maintain strict appearances, avoid controversy, stay emotionally available to fans, and somehow still look grateful every second. One mistake can become national news overnight. One bad performance gets dissected online, frame by frame, and V lived inside that pressure cooker for years. Behind the effortless expressions and deep voice people admired was someone quietly questioning himself constantly. He admitted there were moments he wanted rest so badly that his thoughts became frighteningly dark. And when those words spread online, fans across the world suddenly stopped seeing V the global icon for a second and saw Kim Taehyung, a human being carrying more pressure than anyone realized. But maybe what made his honesty hit harder was how rare it is in K-pop. Idols are trained to endure silently. Vulnerability is often hidden because the industry fears weakness ruins fantasy. Yet BTS built their legacy partly because they broke that illusion. Songs like Blue and Gray, Black Swan, and The Truth Untold never really sounded like music made by people living glamorous lives. They sounded like confessions. And V especially always carried that sadness differently. Even his artistry, the slow jazz influences, melancholic visuals, and the distant expressions, often felt less like performance and more like someone trying to process emotions publicly without directly explaining them. Then came military enlistment, another chapter that changed him in ways fans immediately noticed. When V returned briefly during live streams after serving, there was something different about him. He joked about still waking up early instinctively and doing military-style roll calls without thinking. But underneath the humor, people sensed how deeply the experience had altered his routine and mindset. In another live, he casually mentioned he no longer sleeps deeply and wakes up from small noises now. Such a tiny sentence. Yet fans everywhere paused, because sometimes exhaustion doesn't arrive loudly. It shows up quietly through changed sleep, silence, exhaustion, or habits your body refuses to let go of. And while he was already carrying the weight of fame and military life, privacy became another battle entirely. During the Hybe and Min Hee-jin controversy, V's private messages unexpectedly became public discussion material. Suddenly, personal conversations were being analyzed by strangers online as if his life belonged to everyone except him. Can you imagine constantly living under surveillance while still being expected to remain calm, charming, and emotionally stable? Fame in K-pop often stops feeling like admiration and starts feeling like ownership. What makes V's story resonate so deeply is that he never speaks like someone trying to gain sympathy. If anything, he speaks very little, which is exactly why people listen carefully whenever he finally opens up. His silence almost says more than interviews ever could. And perhaps that's why millions connect to him beyond music. Because beneath the celebrity image is someone who reflects what so many young people feels today: exhaustion, comparison, emotional burnout, loneliness hidden behind functioning lives. Ironically, BTS became global partly because they refused to act emotionally invincible. They made vulnerability feel human again. And V's journey reminds people that success does not erase pain. Sometimes it amplifies it. The stadiums become louder, cameras become brighter, Tenhi expectations become heavier. And somewhere inside all of it, a person still wonders whether they're enough. Maybe that's the real story here. Not just a K-pop idol struggling under pressure, but a human being trying to protect his identity in a world that constantly consumes it.